Sometimes mischief can lead to big trouble. Let's understand this through a story. This story is set in a dense forest where there stood a grand banyan tree. Its branches touched the sky, and its roots spread deep into the earth. On this very tree lived a sweet, clever, and sharp little bird named Chunmun. Chunmun was famous for her golden feathers and melodious voice. On the high branches of the same tree lived a mischievous monkey named Madari. Madari was known for his pranks, playfulness, and arrogance. Chunmun and Madari lived on the same tree, but they were not friends. In fact, they disliked each other. Madari believed this little bird was living in his world uninvited, while Chunmun hated Madari's unruly and careless behavior. Chunmun was a cheerful and patient bird. Every morning she would wake the entire forest with her sweet songs as the sun rose. But Madari didn't like this habit at all. He thought, why not teach this bird a lesson? And so, he began planning ways to trouble her. Sometimes he would shake her little branch to make her fall. Sometimes he would throw away the seeds Chunmun had carefully dropped. Chunmun would get annoyed seeing all this, grow irritated, and start chirping angrily. One day, Chunmun said to Madari in frustration, "You really enjoy troubling others, don't you? But remember, one day your mischief will land you in serious trouble." But the naughty Madari paid no heed. One day, he thought of destroying Chunmun's nest and began jumping around on the branch. His movements shook the branches so violently that a large barn python, who had been hiding among the tree roots, suddenly slithered out in anger. Its red eyes glowed with fury, and it swiftly began crawling toward Madari. Now Madari's jokes and courage both vanished. He panicked and began running here and there. The python increased its speed. Madari, who spent his days playing pranks and annoying others, had never imagined such a danger could come. He wasn't prepared at all. He tried to swing and escape again and again, but the python's hiss and terrifying eyes were ready to trap him. Chunmun was watching everything. She thought, if I want, I can help Madari out of this trouble. But he troubles me all the time, hates me, and today he was going to destroy my nest too. So why should I help him? A battle raged in her heart. There was hatred, but also pity at seeing him in such danger. She thought, should I help him? On one side was their enmity, on the other, a life in danger. But within moments, Chunmun decided that helping Madari was more important, right now. Saving a life mattered more than old fights. She started pecking the upper branches of the tree loudly with her beak. This caught the attention of other birds in the forest, and just as she hoped, hundreds of birds suddenly filled the sky and began making a loud noise. This noise distracted the python. Seizing the moment, Chunmun dived and struck the python's eyes with her sharp claws. The python writhed in pain, loosening its grip. Madari quickly jumped upward branch by branch and finally reached a high tree. He breathed a sigh of relief, though his whole body was trembling in fear. And in his eyes, there were like tears of regret. Tears for the one he considered weak, whom he always troubled, but who ended up becoming his biggest savior. Below, the wounded and angry python slithered around, but it was too late now. Madari was far from its reach. Chunmun too was happy that she could save him. She fluttered her wings joyfully and flew back to her nest. Madari had learned a big lesson that day. There is no real enemy, and no one is small or weak. The next morning, when Chunmun began chirping sweetly with the first rays of the sun, Madari didn't play any prank. Instead, he sat on his branch quietly, listening, with a new gleam in his eyes. A gleam of friendship. After gathering courage, he came to Chunmun and said, "Chunmun, I'm truly grateful to you. I always troubled you, but you saved my life today, forgetting everything I did. Will you forgive me for my past behavior?" Tears of regret welled up in Madari's eyes. Chunmun smiled and said, "Madari, I have forgiven you. But the real question is, did you learn anything from this?" Madari bowed his head and said, "Yes, I learned that friendship and cooperation are the real strength, not mischief and hatred." From that day, the grand tree was no longer just a tree. It became a symbol of calm friendship and change. Now, when Chunmun chirped every morning, Madari would clap and cheer for her happily. Together, they started helping other animals in the forest, and their unique friendship became famous throughout the forest. Thus, from the roots of enmity, a new branch of friendship grew, one that remained green and thriving for years. Moral of the story: never underestimate anyone or trouble others without reason. Sometimes our own mischief can bring us pain or even danger.